Going on, everybody? So I finally got a chance to do a little weekend review here. Just going over the trades. I finished only down 45 on the week, but with commissions I spent 74 in commissions with this week, so it's definitely a lot higher in commissions. The main reason for that one is because I believe it was this day here. You can see 500, 600, 600. I traded 3,000 shares that day. I mean, just under that one day, I believe my commissions were like 40 bucks or something like that. So I mean, just really big numbers that day. Thing that I kind of noticed is whenever I'm trading more than 6 trades a day, that's kind of when I start to, because I mean the first 6 are fine, and then the course trades are where things really went down, and then going back to these other days here, I guess in this case it was alright, but I know this day it was like 7 trades, and then that last ad that I took on there was pretty bad, and then kind of the same situation here, the last 2 I'm losing 100 bucks. I don't think I have any more besides that, but I think once I'm starting to hit like 5 trades in a day, I should start really be paying attention to making sure that I'm not taking just any trade. So that's already a goal that I want to write down, is so if I'm already up at 5 trades for one day, I need to be making sure that I'm, taking something that's really good. The week wasn't super terrible. I mean, I'm really curious to see as to, how I got these pretty big losses, because the week before I didn't have any losses bigger than $25, and then, 40, 30, 30, 100, 40, 35, and then we got a 13 there. So I really want to see, where this is coming in. It doesn't look like I had too many trades this week where I was taking half size to start, and then, adding in another position. So I'm just looking at the dollars at risk. This is a $20 risk there, 16, 63 there, 36.19. So I mean, these last 2 ones, yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it. But 7 for 18, 40%, just about, winning 2 days. And then the P&L for the non-compliance is a massive $215. So I lost out on $215 on trades that I wasn't in compliance with what I'm trying to do. So this week was really bad with compliance wise. I mean, the week before here, I believe it's just these 3 days. I mean, 1, 2, I only had 2 days. It was 15 and 20 something, so I mean 23 bucks, and that's fine, but this 215 definitely can't happen. So the first trade that I took was Tiva. It was a VWAP bounce up. 250 shares, 500 shares, risk of 6 cents, only risking $30, ended up being a minus $40 trade, and my compliance was a 4 and a 6, which is, I didn't exit after bouncing off a significant support or resistance multiple times, and I didn't cut my losses quick enough. Anything else? Out at 93. Risk 95, so it was only 2 cents out. Looks like as soon as I entered, it never went in my favor once. So just looking at the ones, looks really good. The 9's coming right up on it right now. Not a whole ton of buying. Definitely looks like there's a lot more sellers than there are buyers. Actually, I want to look at that again here. So it broke down, moved back up, so I definitely like that, so that's always a good sign. I have a limit order in at 01, so I mean I should be getting filled any second. Pops down, and then it immediately breaks down, so that was kind of interesting. So I mean, you can see the massive number of sellers here. What I'm wondering is maybe I pushed my entry a little bit too early on this one, because yeah, it got up there at one point, but it hasn't really bounced off of it necessarily. I mean, it bounced off of it here, but I mean, it's only 2 pennies above VWAP. Maybe what I should have been looking to do is, enter somewhere more like 5, because you know, if I get it at like 4 or 5, you know, that would mean that it has to break through all of these sellers. And I mean, it just immediately still gets up there, but I mean, there's a lot more sellers than there are buyers. And then I get out way too late on that trade, and I just ended up losing a ton. So mistake on that one was, I think my entry on the VWAP bounce was way too early. So I needed to wait for more. I need to wait for more confirmation, really. I mean, 3 cents is probably still pushing it. I mean, 4 or 5, you know, a breakout of the high of this candle is probably more likely. I mean, I still could have taken 500 shares. I mean, 500 shares still risking 5 cents on that. I mean, it's not a problem at all. Alright, so first trade on Tiva, pretty ugly. Next we got T Mus. Definitely looks like a really good short here. T Mus on the symmetrical. I longed it though. Okay. Longing it. Risking 48. Risking 16, and I got 29 cents out of it. Compliance was a 2. What is a 2? 2 is I didn't cut my partial fast enough. So if I'm risking 16 cents, that means if I'm in at 01, that means it's 17 cents I need to be taken. And it looks like my max favorable is 20, so it definitely got up there. I was up 57 at one point, only in the trade for 2 minutes. So yeah, with these trades, you know, with the 20 coming down on it like this, and it's already kind of holding above the 9. So the 5 minutes definitely a close there, close there. So the 5 minutes not really telling me too much. The 5 minutes are telling me that it could go either way. But if it wants to move higher, then, you know, I definitely don't not want to be a part of that. But I definitely like it a lot more for a short. So I have an order at 69, which is a good spot. But I mean, with these symmetrical triangles, they can always go either way. Looks like there's a hidden seller who's gone now. This is another situation where I could have gone half size and then done the rest. Yeah, see the 5s are all over the place. I could have gone half size like right now and then added on a break of 56, but I decided to wait. Oh, that happened really quick. So I mean, just looking at it, already immediately up there. Yeah, 16, 17. So right now I should be looking to take a partial. I should absolutely be looking to take a partial. When did I click the button? So I got 16. Okay, yeah. I guess I waited a little bit too long. I mean, it wasn't really bad, but definitely could have been better. And I exited that whole trade really quickly. Why did I do that? So I ended up cutting out on that trade really fast. I don't know why I did that. Let's see if we can find it later. So this is where it broke up. No, it's not. Is it? Something feels weird. What is this? I guess that's something weird. I don't know. There's the cores trade. So here's the Team Mus. So I mean, it got up there, but then yeah, it immediately turned right back around. That's weird. I feel like I'm missing something right now. Okay, so I guess that is 56 there. and it was bouncing around up at 56. Okay. So yeah, that was where it was at then. And yeah, later on, yeah, I just immediately turned right back around. So I mean, I guess I made the right call there, but I'm still not too sure why I got out of that trade that quickly. Next trade was Tiva. I gave myself an error on it. Another symmetrical. My compliance was a 1. Risking 30, lost 30, risking 5 cents. Profit target was 11 cents away. Was in at 11.96 with 600 shares. So yeah, risking about 5 cents there. Was I in it already? Oh, I was in it already. Okay, so this one, I kind of remember this one. I wanted to short it, and I mean, it clipped down really quickly, and it got me in super fast. I mean, you can't even, it happened so fast you can't even tell what happened. But it looks like I got down there, and I mean, it immediately popped straight back up. I think I told myself that there was an error on this one because I wasn't really, I don't know, I wasn't really prepared for it. I mean, this is just one of those trades that happened so fast I didn't even know what happened. I mean, I bailed on it really quick. That's why I gave it the error, because I wasn't even paying attention to the 5s, and I took it obviously short, and you know, the 200 is right there, and I was looking at it and I wasn't even paying attention to the higher time frame on it. So the mistake on that one is I didn't look at the higher time frame. Alright, doesn't look bad for long though. Obviously got the pivot point. Got an order in at 5 cents. Tiva long 600. Compliance was a 1. Okay, this one was actually a 10. What is 10? Took right into support and resistance. Yes, I did. Less symmetrical risking 7 cents to make 7 cents, so I'm going for a 1-to-1 trade. So it looks like my profit target was 12? 12. So kind of right in the middle of this high in the pivot line there. Lots of buyers. In the trade, buyers coming in. Lots of sellers. Doesn't matter, moving through it. And the big buyers showed up there. Huge. And it's a huge seller too. So it got up there. I took a partial right as it got to 10, so that was good. Got to 11, got 12, 13. Another one. Okay, I took another partial, so that was definitely good. And then we get a really nice move up even farther. Took another partial at 14. And the highest it got was what, 18? Max favorable 18. And I'm holding on to it. Still holding on to it while I'm looking at Timas. I'm all out of Tiva there at 19. And yeah, It still moved. I think if I remember right, that Tiva trade actually ended up moving up quite a bit higher. Yeah, 38. I mean, the thing moved up another 20 cents. I don't know. It wasn't a bad trade. I'm not upset about taking profits at profit-taking points, so I think I traded that one all right. Maybe I was a little too trigger happy with taking it though, because I mean, it didn't really ever turn around on me. I mean, obviously until you get up here. So I mean, maybe I could have held on to it and squeezed a few more bucks out of it, but I don't know. I think I did alright with that one. So I am short Timas here. Definitely looks pretty good just staring at the chart. Timas, another symmetrical. Short 150. And at 67. Looks like I wasn't even profitable for a second on this one. Risking 13 to make 17. So I'm in at 67, which is probably the low of that candle there. So I think what I'm doing right now is I'm waiting to see how it's going to act with that 50 coming down and if it's going to break the VWAP or not. But I think what I did on this one, so I took 150, I'm only risking 19 bucks on it, so 20 bucks or so. So this is definitely a half size. I think what I wanted to do is add again as it broke underneath this level here. Yeah, because I do have that other order at 63. It's not a bad situation. Yeah, looks pretty good on the 5s too. It's kind of far away from the apex though there. And I end up bailing on the trade as it breaks through VWAP, but I mean it still closes underneath it there. I entered in at 77 on this one, so it looks like it took a little bit. Looking at AMD. So now we're getting closer to the apex, and that's something that I've definitely been noticing a lot lately, is that most of these trades don't really make that move until they get closer. So I shorted this thing, was it here? I shorted this thing here, and I mean the apex is still all the way over here. I mean at the time it was probably maybe somewhere like this, but until you get that big squeeze up like that. So I think I definitely played it right on the first time there, using only half size that early in the triangle. But now it still looks really good for a short, so I'm trying to short at 77. 77 would probably take profit where my last entry was. So my profit target was 65. So yeah, right there. Could be a long too. Take it long at 92 and profit target just right there at the whole number. But I'm in this trade short. Has a very nice move down. So we got to 68 and I took a partial. And then we get a huge move down. So again, one of those situations where I'm almost a little too trigger happy taking the profits. Max favorable on it was 56. So I mean, I was risking, what am I risking here? My risk is 85 and it's 70 cents, so I'm risking 8 cents. So as soon as I'm up 8 cents, which would be 69, So it's right there right now. I didn't take it though. Not on the first test anyway. But I mean, it's not really showing too much strength. The time in sales is definitely in my favor, but you know, there's just not really too many numbers going on here. I mean, this thing breaks down really hard then. Get down to 58, 57. Bounces back pretty hard. Yeah, it's right about where that next level is too. Probably could have been a little bit quicker on that. Has a very nice initial move, and then we kind of got a shooting star on the next candle, so it definitely looks pretty good. Might retest, which would be fine. 2 shooting stars. Definitely looks like it wants to move lower, so need to click the button there, click it at 59. That's alright. I don't know, you can't be upset about taking profits. I mean, yeah, obviously the next half a second it, you know, made the even bigger move down, but you know, you just gotta take what you can get. And shouldn't have any complaints about it, so. And then we got a really big squeeze here. And then I'm all out. Okay, so then I am up $20 on the day. I have already taken 6 trades, and then I'm looking at cores here. So cores is a bull flag long, and then I short it. So let's see. In at 54.25. That's only 15 trades. For some reason, I included that previous day. I don't know why I did that. Just noticed that. I don't know why I noticed that. Anyway, risking at 03 and at 25, so I'm risking 22 cents trying to get 25 cents. Risking 44. It was in my favor for a little bit, and then it turned right around against me. So it doesn't look terrible. The problem, I remember this trade. I mean, this is the 5-minute chart, and the 5 minutes have the trend line right here, and then the ones are the upper trend line. And the problem with this one is I took it on the break of the 5-minute full size, thinking that, you know, obviously it would go and break the 1 minute too, but the 1 minute isn't just gonna be like that, you know. I mean, another situation where we're kind of far away from the apex of the triangle, it's like somewhere over here or something, and I'm just taking it as it breaks this. And I remember it comes and it touches this trend line and it bounces off and it doesn't break it. So 25 is right there. I'm in it. Definitely not a huge move or anything. Volume's not increasing. There's not really, time in sales isn't going crazy. It's not flashing at me. Moves up to 29, 31. I mean, I should be looking to take this trade somewhere like 35, really. Because, I mean, it's right there. It's right there right now. And then it just bounces straight off it pretty hard. And it goes right around against me, horribly down against me. Down to the bottom of that, the lower trend line. And then we got the 9 coming up on it, or the 20 coming up on it. I mean, here's a situation where I should be thinking, okay, I obviously don't have a good entry. It obviously bounced off of the top trend line, and we're closing underneath all of the moving averages that are just now underneath it, that are now going to act as resistance instead of support. So what I should be doing is I should be, okay, I need to get out of this trade right now and rethink my situation. So my max drawdown was right at the whole number, and I got out. So I mean, I let this thing go right back down against me here. I've given up another 10 cents, so you know I lost another 20 bucks on it. It even gets back to my entry. So now is when I should be looking to enter the trade if it breaks it. I mean, it looks really good for a long now, because, you know, it has enough time to come back and retest, get a little closer to the entrance, or the apex of the triangle. So I think I got pretty lucky in the sense that I let this thing go that far against me, come all the way back to my entry. Kind of fails to move higher. Yeah, I should have never bet in this trade in the first place. It hasn't triggered anything yet. Yeah, just slowly grinding against me. Plenty of opportunities to be getting out. Get out, rethink it. Maybe it's gonna be a good short. Which actually it isn't a good short, but I took it short anyway for some reason. And that 20 is right there on it. I think I thought it might have been one of those situations where, you know, it comes back and it breaks through and it just totally closes. And just breaks through the 20 and comes back and retests VWAP or something. I mean, now I can really remember my psychology during this moment. I was getting frustrated, you know, because the thing's been swinging all over the place against me. I'd already taken 6 trades on the day. You know, the 20's coming up on it. I kept thinking it's gonna retest this, and then it might break out and move higher. I mean, oh, look at that share. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I guess double that. That's 6,000 then. But I mean, now I'm looking at it as a short, and I'm trying to, you know, this is my stop loss. But I remember, probably see it in a second. I mean, if I want to short it like this, then why don't I just exit the trade now and, you know, put in the short order for an order underneath the 54. But I'm still holding on to the long just in case, you know. I don't know. I had plenty of opportunities to just take a really small loss and, you know, try and get a better entry or something, and then maybe the real move would come or something, and then I'm just not doing any of that. I'm not thinking clearly enough. And then finally I bail on it at the last second. And then I'm shorting it. Trying to short it on the break of the whole number. And I mean, it broke the whole number. And then I'm in at 98. I mean, it looks like it could go short here. I mean, that just squeezes right back up. I should have been out of this trade. It closed above the 9 and the VWAP, or the trend line. You know, it could still be a good long. And then I just said forget it, I'm out of that trade. So that was definitely really ugly trade management. That was bad stuff there. So I gave myself a 9 and an 11. Entered before signal, yes I did. Did not plan correctly. That is an understatement. So cores. What do I want to write about the mistake on that one? Okay, so I didn't cut my loss and rethink the trade. Instead, I held on to it. And whenever I hold on to a trade like that, I'm pretty much only ensuring that, you know, it's either gonna be a winner or it's going to be as bad of a loser as it could be. Should have just taken the small loss. I'll put that down as a goal too. Not great stuff. I do want to know where it was at later though. think at this point I just said forget it. I mean, the trade's not over. I mean, yeah, you know, I shut it off, turn it back on, you know, there's the move. Moves right up. No surprise, really. I mean, obviously. I probably would have longed it maybe this candle. No, probably not that candle. I don't know, I mean, it made two moves. I mean, it made the short down to VWAP, and then it made the move back up. I mean, I definitely could have been short on this one. I mean, it's not really a great risk-reward, though. I mean, I guess it's something like a 1-to-1. You know, maybe it resets for a long somewhere up in there. Who knows? Too late. No sense in worrying about what-ifs. I think it's loading here. Alright, on to the next day. Only trade I took was TWX, symmetrical triangle short 400 shares, risking 8 cents to make 9 cents. $56 winner. Oh yeah, that's a snap. That L for locate. Something my mentor told me that I forgot. And there's Planet. Planet looked really good for a long over 30 if it ever got up there, but it never did. TTWO, definitely looking like a good symmetrical triangle. Why didn't I take this trade? Ah, short, that's right. See, wow, that's 4 trades already end of the day that I didn't get in on one of them. And then, yeah, that CL left without me, and that was upsetting too. So then we got TWX. Alright, definitely got a symmetrical triangle, consolidating, got the 5 on the insides, the 1s on the outsides. Definitely looks like a really good short here. Have an order in at 44, which might be below these candles, the wicks here. And then, I mean, it's got all the potential there. It's a down gapper, so the 9's going to be coming in from up top. There's a 9 definitely pushing it down. We're getting right to the apex of this thing. Could move higher. Don't want to take it higher though. The 5-minute just closed. So now I'm definitely rethinking, because 44 is much too far away. 44 is going to have to be the profit target now. Enter in somewhere like here. So I got an order at 57. Pretty close to getting in. Definitely failed at VWAP a ton of times. Still bouncing around in there. Hasn't made a move yet, so what I need to do is just keep redrawing. Alright, then I'm in. Not a huge move, but the seller numbers look good on level 2. Weak buyers, there's really nobody there. Pretty decent move down. So I got filled at 55. 55, I was trying to get at 57, my risk was 63. So I'm risking 8 cents, so whenever I'm, you know, in the high 40s, you know, this 45 area is going to have to be the profit target. So definitely not a huge move down to start it. Volume definitely not helping at all, but I mean, I'm in the trade. It looks like it could move. Kind of comes back to retest, and then we get the big move down. Ooh, I took a partial way too late there. So I need to be taking a partial at 47. 47. It gets down to 46. 47, click the button, got it at 48. That's alright. So right now it's right at that support. And then get the nice big move down. So that's where the real move's at, but kind of bouncing around again. Huge volume coming in. Huge move down now. can only imagine if I had full size on that one. But again, nothing wrong with taking profit at profit taking points. So I'm up 72 bucks on this trade at one point. I kind of remember this one. I let it go back against me pretty far here. Yeah, you can see that huge squeeze up now. It's only retesting though. You know, it doesn't really look like it wants to break it. You can see the volume. The volume's practically nothing. So I mean, what it could do is it just, you know, it bounces and then it comes back down. It looks like I just said forget it and I was all out. TWX, and it looks like I made the right call. So it ended up closing above it. So pretty good trade there. No complaints. Give myself a 1. Alright. Next day I took Roku and Kohl's. So Roku was a bull flag. Only 50 shares. Risking 16, so that might have been a half size to start it with. In for 12 minutes. Risking 32 to make $1.18. So this is like a 3 to 1 almost. Yeah, 3.5. Trying to short Kohl's, I guess. I don't know what happens though. Maybe it moves up. Alright, either way, looking at Roku, okay, this is kind of a weird situation because I'm kind of forcing a triangle. Whenever I draw it from down here, I'm kind of forcing a triangle. Obviously, what I should be doing is drawing it right in here. But I got half size in and I want to get the rest over the break of this. Not a ton of buying coming in, really. Already doesn't really look like it wants to move higher. I don't really think there's anything wrong with holding it. It hasn't broken the 9 or anything yet. It just hasn't really made the move yet. So what I think I'm trying to do right now is just hold on for the move. You know, if it does happen. And it turns around. Really turns around against me, but got huge buyers there at 50. I mean, if it's gonna break that 50, that's when I definitely need to be getting out. Looks like I just said forget it. Now you can see what happened. So yeah, this thing just turned around against me. I don't know. Maybe I just said, you know, it's not gonna do anything, so I'll just get out. Okay, now I'm looking at Kohl's again. For long. Risk control to make 10. Interesting. So it's in my favor a lot. So in order to get long at 72, definitely a good looking setup here. What is this? Risk is 63, in at 75, so I'm risking 12 to make 10. So I only think this thing is going to go 10 cents up to 85, which is basically the high of these candles here, which is my first profit target anyway. So I get long, 75, gets up to the 80s, but it's got a break. It gets up there at the 80, but it turns right around on me. But I mean, it's still holding the support, so yeah, I don't know about 400 shares on this one. That's pushing it. Now you got a big move up. Spread's got to tighten though. I took a partial at 86, and then it really explodes up to the whole number. It took another partial. And ends up breaking it, and I still got 100 shares on it. I mean, I think I got a huge move, and then that candle is just ridiculous. That's just really unfortunate. Look at that thing. That's unbelievable. I mean, that's $40 of profit that I just didn't have to give away. But I mean, would you be looking to sell and get out of your position right here after seeing those two huge moves up on volume like that? There's no way that I would have ever expected something like that to happen. So that's just unfortunate. What I do want to see though is this move that happened. It happened really fast. I already took my partial really fast. This thing didn't even pull back, and I took a partial on it. Okay, I actually gotta slow it down. At 86, boom, I clicked the button. It didn't even pull back on me, and I clicked the button. If I waited for a pullback, I'd still be in it. There, I would have taken my first partial. So I kind of missed out. Okay, I gotta write it as a goal. I think I'm actually gonna write it as a mistake, as I'm too trigger happy on taking profits. You know, pretty much in all of these trades, I could have, you know, held on for a little bit more, and I would have been just fine. This one didn't even pull back on me at all. Geo didn't even do it. So Roku, where was I? I think it was right around here. I had a bail. I mean, just kind of retesting. Not really doing too much of anything. So yeah, it looks like I made the right choice getting out on it. That's just crazy. I mean, well, it never closed below the 9 until all the way up here, so I mean, maybe, but that was crazy price action there. Alright, so looking at the video, pretty early in the day, only 15 minutes into the day, trying to take a long. 75 shares is way too big of a size on this. I mean, you can see some of these candles are moving $1 a minute. I mean, 75 shares, and you know, it moves $1, I'm down $75. trying to get long at 20. So I'm risking 85 to make 55. Well, that's obviously not right. So I'm trying to get this here, and I'm trying to take profits at 75 cents. So probably the high of this wick here, or the high of day even. So yeah, right at the high of day. I don't know. That's just an ugly trade. Just, I don't know, because it hasn't even. So you get the top trend line, and then it has to pull back a little bit. This is I'm really pushing it on this one, as this, you know, say that this, okay, this is a pullback, so now it's making a triangle. You know, that's too tight. It's got to come back more than that. And I just say, call it and get out completely. I mean, you know, now it might be trying to make something a little bit better, but mistake on that. Early in the day, I forced a triangle. It didn't have enough pullback. You know, these things have to have like four distinct points to make a triangle. So you got 1, 2, 3, and this is like a 3.5. It's not really a 4, because what is this? This is 2 candles. This isn't a pullback. You know, you got two big candles up, 4 big candles down, making another point. You know, you got like 6 candles here going up, making a new point, and then you just kind of get this little consolidation in there. Not even a full dollar pullback when this thing's already had a range of $4. I took it again though, took it short this time for another loser. This time the risk reward was a lot better though. Yeah, this 0.65, what is that? That's bad. That's not good. That's not a good trade. That's not something that I should be taking. I gave myself an 11. If I remember right, I think it was the did not plan correctly. Yeah. So now I'm shorting a video. The 20 caught up with it, 9 caught up with it. Doesn't look like a bad trade at all. See, now you got the 4 distinct points here. You got the 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it kind of moves back up, kind of retesting the VWAP here, and then now it looks like it wants to move lower. So in at 85, this says 84. Trying to get 85 cents out of it, so I'm trying to get it the whole number at 213 here. Doesn't really move at all. Volume is drastically thinning out. Kind of pulls back, looking to retest here, and I exit the trade. So I exited that trade really quickly, and now I'm sitting down $80 on the day. But this trade isn't over. I remember this Roku trade too. It never just never got up there. I'm just gonna skip to the end because I want to look at it already. I mean, this is where I exited. I exited right here on a short, and it got right to my profit target. I don't know why I exited this trade. It didn't do anything. I mean, I exited right at the top, because I remember going back and looking at this candle. I mean, it went up to 20, and then I covered, and then it just immediately, from the second that I covered that trade, turned right down, back into my favor. Would have put me green on the day, and I just blew it. Exited way too quickly. You know, I think that's the problem that I have is, you know, whenever I'm down on the day, you know, your psychology always tells you, you know, you want to cut losers quicker. Well, you want to cut losers quicker, but you also want to make sure that it's at a proper point where you know you're wrong, and if that point where you're too wrong is you know, that dollar amount is too big for you, well, then your share size is too big, and you need to play a smaller share size, because that's kind of like your ultimate risk. So, man, it's 0.88, and my risk was 25, and I covered at 20. I mean, it never even touched where my ultimate risk was. I don't know, just scared trading. So now I'm looking at Disney. I am long Disney at 250 shares at 105.83. It looks like it was probably clipped me in right there, trying to take it long over this one. 3's probably exited too early. So Disney, another symmetrical long 200 shares, basically a 1-to-1, risking 18 makes 17. Wasn't really ever in my favor too much. How is that possible? My max PL is there, but my net gain is up there. 105.71, and I was out. Oh, 105.90, and I was out 105.91. There. There it is. Only a half an R on this trade. So I'm looking to take it long. Definitely looks good for a long. Got the 50 coming up on it. 50 held. Bounced off it pretty hard there. Definitely looks like a good trade. On the 5s, it's not really... The 5s, it doesn't really have another triangle, because you got 1, 2, 3, and there's no pullback yet on the higher time frame. And maybe whenever it's later in the day like this, that's something that you gotta look out for. I'm gonna write that down as a goal. For later in the day, the 5 minute should have a 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of pattern. I mean, yeah, it does on the 1s, but obviously you want to see that on the 5s too. Yeah, it's got enough on the 1s. Yeah, I would take this trade. I definitely took it on the 1s, obviously. Gets up there tonight. Oh yes, I remember this one. So right here is where I thought that there was a hidden seller, because you see all this green at the 90 here, and there's only this one guy was there, and it wasn't going away. So I was like, okay, well, that's probably a hidden seller. I should just get out of this trade. And then obviously the huge number showed up, but then it went up there without me. I mean, and I remember looking at it again. It did end up going up to the whole number. I wrote down it got to 106. So I mean, I would have hit my 1-to-1 risk reward there, but I didn't like what I saw, so I bailed on the trade. I don't really blame myself for that one. Then the last trade of the week was a rising wedge on Nvidia. Only got $4 out of it. I remember this one. This was it got up there to my I think it was my profit target. It got up there. What did I say? 6. Didn't cut losses fast enough. I didn't really take my partial quick enough, I guess. Trying to get a 3 out of it. In at 216.71, risking, yeah, so risking about 20 cents on it. So only a $20 risk on it. I could have taken bigger size. So I'm short 71 under the break of the moving averages. Doesn't really have a huge initial move. Kind of coming back against me. Kind of just retesting. Closes above it. Gets down into the 50s, so I took my partial there. I think I took it because I saw that big buyer there. But then the problem now is, my entry was so close to where my first profit-taking spot was that, I mean, this thing coming back and retesting, was already where my entry's at. So what I should have done is I should have just exited the trade. I mean, because right now it's right where my entry is. But I mean, I think I let this thing go into like the 80s, so I mean, I turned a $20 winner into a $4 winner. Because I mean, you see, I wait all the way until 86, so I just waited too long. Trying to long Disney again, didn't happen, I guess. So that was it on the week. Nothing too spectacular, definitely some obvious glaring mistakes. Let's see what I got. So I forced the cores trade, very back and forth day, tried to make myself green. I should have just walked away. Today I wanted to focus on where was I not compliant, and I definitely found all of those. Entry on the VWAP bounce was too early. I needed to wait for more confirmation. Needed to have a bigger bounce. It was kind of just at the point where it should have bounced, but obviously it didn't. I didn't look at a higher time frame. I know I took one of these, I think it was this TV trade here, took it short right into the 200 on the 5. Didn't cut losses and rethink the trade. That cores trade just murdered me, really. It was just bad trading. Instead I held on to it, ensuring that it was a bad loser. It was either going to be a winner or it was going to be a bad loser, and what I really should have done is just taken a small loss and rethought the trade, replanned it, just had a better entry, better trade all around. I was too trigger happy on taking profits. I think it was that Coles trade down there where I took a profit on this one and it didn't even pull back on me. There was no point to take a profit there. Early in the day I forced the symmetrical triangle and it didn't have enough pullback to really make that 4th point. So I just kind of really forced that trade again. So goals for next week are going to be, don't just use big size, but use the correct size. Make sure that I am compliant with all of my trades. If I am taking 5 or 6 trades into a day, I really need to make sure that the next trades that I take are exactly what I need them to be, and I'm not just forcing another trade to try and take another trade. Just take a small loss and re-enter, just like the cores trade. Just make sure that I'm taking the right trade again. Don't want to force anything. And later in the day, the 5 minutes candles should also have a 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern for the symmetrical triangles. So definitely, obviously, you know, these review sessions always telling me what it is that I need to work on and fix, and, you know, kind of add to my list of things to do. So definitely pretty good. Should be feeling much better for this Monday here. I'll be back for the whole week. And looking forward to it, so thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow.